In this video, I'm going to give you 6 tips on how to lead your organization and keep stability in these post-COVID-19 reboot times. In his best-selling book, The Black Swan, Nassim Taleb pointed out the characteristics of rare events like the corona crisis. Black swans are unpredictable, unprecedented, and hugely impactful. They create a crisis, typically characterized by a feeling of unwanted change, disruption and blockage of daily routines. There is the feeling of scarcity, losing something. And of course, this all goes together with strong negative emotions like fear, anger, sadness, insecurity, and vulnerability. Specifically for organizational leaders, it creates a high pressure on their decision-making and overall attitude. And of course, surely they also cannot change what happens to us every day. But instead of panicking, there are some insights that help to create a feeling of mental and emotional safety and solidity for the employees. The first one is this: clarity precedes mastery. Be crystal clear on your decisions and your goals, and especially stick to it. Today, it's actually more important to be clear than to be right. Why? Because truth is hard to find. Think about all the fake news that exists. Communication is not necessarily creating clarity though. Clarity is knowing what people have taken away from your communication and how they will use it in practice. So invest in understanding what people really have understood from your decisions, your strategy, your goal settings. Spend time in repeating, summarizing, and checking with them. And once you really know what they have taken away from your information, then act upon it. Stick to your long-term goals and strategies, but be adaptive to the current situation and agile in reaching your short-term goals. Because don't forget, strong leaders create the future, manage the present, and selectively forget the past. Number 2, the power of quiet persistence. Navigate irrational reality, but play for team humanity. Today, people need inspiration, alignment, positive energy. Leaders, executive decision makers are more than ever important sources of organizational energy. So ask yourself, what type of energy do you radiate today? What's the perception people get from you? Especially in times of crisis, you need to express persistence, hope, positiveness, accessibility, and decisiveness. Show the one voice, one message, one team attitude. And do not waste any opportunity to show your employees the hopes and beliefs you have every day. Number 3, rethink the working context of your daily business. We are slowly getting back into working mode, but most of us still find themselves in unreal and uncomfortable situations. Some of us feel it will never be like before again. So how to adapt to it? Now, instead of telling people what to do or to change, look at their working context today. Is it really fit to the new situation? Plexiglass protection is an obvious thing now, but there's much more you can rethink for future use. For instance, can you make small acceptable changes in softwares you're using, in processes, procedures that you have created many years ago maybe? Are there other aspects in the physical working environment that would help them to cope with this new normal? Number 4, actions speak louder than words, more than ever. When it comes to self-perception, the intention that we have puts much more weight on the scale than the action. But when it comes to perception by other people about us, it's the exact opposite. People will judge you by your actions, not your intentions. So these times are good moments of showing what you and your organizations are capable of putting into action and into practice. Again, as said before, decisiveness is key. Can your organization surpass the rigidness and the risk-averse stuck state thinking? Can you show your employees that you can act quickly and clearly and consistently? Seeing and experiencing has a much more motivational impact than thinking and analyzing. Number 5, organizational ambidexterity. Rationality next to rigorous openness, candid honesty and togetherness. Good leaders know how to rationalize emotions and emotionalize rationality. The balance is not always easy though. So use these times to show a more emotional side of you and your organization and all of its leaders. Act more openly, collaboratively and receptively to questions, concerns and suggestions. Dare to show your own vulnerability. Your reactions today might be the start of a new behavior and a new culture for the future. People will remember how you reacted during this crisis and how your leadership made the difference, or not. So manage your people as carefully as you normally manage your money. And finally, number 6, social distance, but be creative in establishing connection. Humanity fights one common enemy now. We feel bonded. We are still in the same boat. We've all shown the inside of our houses now during the many conference calls. The walls are down. Use it to connect on a personal level as well. Reach out to your employees, call them, chat with them, mail them. Be creative and don't only connect for professional reasons, but just because they are humans. Again, your organization and its people will remember in the future how you treated them, and it will turn into positiveness over time. You will find much more on these 6 tips and many more other ones as well in the book, The 6 Batteries of Change. And of course also in our 5-day program, Leading and Implementing Change, which you will find on our website www.vlerick.com.